Hey everybody, it's time for more Learning with Little Tweet. I hope y'all had a good weekend and got to do some resting and you're ready for another week of learning. So it's Monday, April 27th, and we're going to be working on day 19 lessons. The first things we're going to do are our reading and word work lessons. So I also understand that, originally I was just making these videos for Mrs. Hill's class, but I think they've been helpful for some other kids too. So if you are not in Mrs. Hill's class, you need to meet Little Tweet. This is Little Tweet. He's our little friend. We actually have a real Little Tweet, a real northern cardinal that comes and kind of knocks on our window at school, at our classroom, because he really just loves to see what kindergartners are learning about. We also put out food for him, and he comes and eats food. And some of you have older siblings who maybe were in my class a couple years ago, and you remember that Little Tweet and little mama had babies, and we got to watch them learn how to fly from our windowsill in our classroom. It was so cool. So Little Tweet is real, and I have a Little Tweet here too. And actually Little Tweet does make little birdie sounds. So that's why it's called Learning with Little Tweet, because at school we actually do learn with Little Tweet. Also, parents, if you are listening to this video right now, let me just let you know how this works. So I try to go through the lessons in a way that you don't have to sit with your kid the whole time, hopefully, but they do need help at the beginning with pulling materials. So listen to the beginning of the video and I'm going to show you the materials they need. Stick around, get all those materials ready, and then hopefully you'll be able to just go do what you need to do and your child will be able to follow along. Sometimes I really do have to fly through the lessons because I can only do 15-minute lessons and it won't let me post longer videos to YouTube. So the pace might be a little bit fast, but I do tell the kids to pause the video sometimes, often actually, to pause the video to complete their work and then start the video again. So if your child does not know how to pause the video and start it again on their own, that is something that you will need to teach them. Okay guys, let's get started. So we're doing day 19 lessons. I'm going to show you what materials we need. We need the About Trees story. Now it does want us to read this whole thing again. We're not going to do that. That's going to take way too long. But we do need this story to look at, right? Because we're going to use our text to get information. We also need this paper that we used last week. So down here it says day 19. For day 18, you drew a part of a tree. Day 19, we're going to draw a different part of a tree. So you need this paper. Of course, you need a pencil. And then for word work, there's some options here, guys. So for word work, we're going to do that hopping game that we did last week. So you are so it says to use the kindergarten high frequency word list, which honestly, I don't think they gave us. So I think here's an option. You can use your cycle 19 words that are right here. So it says days 16 through 20, cycle 19. You can use this word list right here, plus these 3 sight words. You can combine those. Those are the words you can use if you want. Or if your child's teacher gave an additional word list that they're working on, like in my class, we have Buddy's Bones and they feed Buddy the words they're working on. If you have a different word list you're working on, you can use those words. But if you don't have a list, you can use these. If these are too easy for your child and you're they have words that they're really interested in that they want to glue in their brain and they want to learn how to read and spell, you can use those words too. But you're looking for 12 to 15 words, I think. Okay, so word list, some sort of word list, and then either chalk or index cards or just paper that you can cut into pieces, okay? I know, that's a lot, guys. Okay, so you need the About Trees book, this paper, some sort of word list, and then some sort of way, like paper or index cards that you can make little cards with, or chalk if it's a nice day and you'd rather do this outside. Okay, guys, sorry, I talked a lot. It's time to pause the video and get your materials. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started by watching a small chunk of this video to teach us a little bit more about trees.
When simply looking at a tree, we only observe a part of a complex and fascinating living thing. Underground, you can find the roots, and it is because of them that the tree sticks to the ground, while at the same time, they suck up the water and minerals found in the soil, allowing it to grow. These roots are also like hands, grabbing hold of the earth, avoiding it from being eroded by the wind and water. The water and all the nutrients it receives from its roots extend throughout the tree, through the inner part of the trunk, a true column for the tree top. This is where we find the tree's branches, which grow outwards in a similar fashion to the roots underground. Here is where the leaves sprout out, a fundamental element in all trees, as it is because of them that photosynthesis takes place, so they can feed. What does photosynthesis mean? Well, it's a fascinating chemical process. The water, enriched with minerals, reaches the leaves, and then, with the help of the sunlight and the chlorophyll, which is also responsible for the green color they receive, is mixed with carbon dioxide absorbed from the air through the leaves. Photosynthesis is essential for trees, but also is really important for all living things living close by, because...
Okay, we're going to stop right there. So that told us about the different parts of the tree, but it gave us a little bit more information. In our book about trees, we heard about a lot of those different parts that they just discussed in that little video. It talked about the leaves and how the leaves come in different shapes and sizes. It talked about branches. We just heard a little bit about branches in our video and what the branches do. Our book about trees also talked about the tree trunk and how the tree doesn't need the middle of the trunk, but just the outside of the trunk is like kind of like the highway that the tree uses to stay alive, right? We learned about the roots, and in the video it just talked about the roots too. Now this video did not talk about sap. Remember sap, let me just read this little section. It says, leaves use water plus sunlight and air to make food for the tree. This food is in the form of liquid sugars. Sometimes people eat some kinds of tree sugars for food. You've probably had tree sugar for breakfast, pouring it over your pancakes or waffles. Have you guessed what tree sugar this is? It's maple syrup, and it comes from the food or sap of a sugar maple tree. That is exactly what we learned in class. This video also did not talk about seeds, so let's talk about seeds really quickly. Deciduous trees grow flowers which make seeds that are inside fruit or nuts. Conifers make cones instead of flowers. The cones do the same job for conifers that flowers do on other trees. They make seeds to grow more trees. Each seed holds its own supply of food to keep it alive until it's ready to sprout. Okay, so now that we have reviewed the different parts of the tree, we're going to go ahead and get started on our paper, if I can find it. Okay, so here are our directions for today. Actually, I guess not yesterday, but last week you guys drew and labeled a part of a tree. So for today, it says sketch a different part from the one you sketched yesterday and label it. So last week I did a little drawing and labeled the roots. I need to pick a different part of the tree today. So I could do the tree trunk, I could do leaves, branches, I could draw a picture of the sap or the seeds, but I cannot draw roots again. Now, I don't know what you guys drew last time, but just make sure you draw something different today. And this is where your About Trees book might become useful for you, because you can look at the pictures in here and that can help you to know how to do your own sketch. So what we're going to do is you're going to get your pencil add some nice details to draw just a part of a tree, and then write the word. So label it so that we know what part you drew. So let's go ahead, and you're going to pause the video and spend a little bit of time working on that. So go ahead and pause the video. All right, so now that you're done with this assignment, go ahead and put it in a safe place so that it can be turned into your teacher, or your parent can take a picture and send it to your teacher. All right, we're gonna work on word work now. So now you need whatever word list you're working on. Now remember, I'm actually just going to use our cycle 19 words plus these sight words right here. But if you have a different word list, you can use that word list. Now here we have some options. If you would like to just write whatever your words are, if you'd like to write them with chalk, kind of spread out so you can jump on them and read them, go ahead and do that. I don't have chalk, so I'm just actually going to fold a piece of paper to make little strips that I can write my words on. I folded it in half, fold it in half again, fold it in half again, okay, like this. And then I'm gonna open it up. And then I would go ahead and just cut on all of those lines and then write one word on each little strip of paper. Then I'm either gonna like tape them down or just lay them down in my house, kind of in a line, or I can do that outside, and I'll show you guys, once I have my cards ready, I'll show you all how to play. But you need to prepare your cards. So now we are going to go ahead and pause the video again, so you can either make your cards or write your words outside in chalk. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video. All right, kindergarten. So I have Layton here to help. So we put our words on the ground, and actually I didn't do all of them because I want this to be kind of the instructional video to be kind of quick. But what Layton is going to do, and actually Layton, I haven't told you this yet. It's a little bit different today. You are going to hop like a frog this time. Uh-oh. I'm sure she's excited about that. So she's gonna hop from word to word, and she's going to read them as she goes. Ready, set, go.
Bath, lap, tan, ham,
Woo!
lip, fish, shop, path.
Awesome job. You are a cute little froggy. Okay, now last time we did like a speed round. Do you think you could do a hopping speed round? Let's give it a try. You ready? Set, go.
Bath, lap, tan, ham, lip, fish, shop, path.
Awesome. That's a pretty good workout. All right, so kindergarten, that is what you're going to do with your words. Remember, you can use chalk or index cards or write your words on paper, but you're just going to practice hopping on your words and reading them. Now, if reading them is a little too easy for you, you can also practice spelling them. All right, guys, have fun with that. You are done. After you do that, you are done with your literacy portion for the day. So I'll see you all later.